with pranams to Lord Ganesha and with a heartfelt namaskar to all readers and listeners. A story dedicated and offered as a humble offering on 15th August 2020 to all freedom fighters, martyrs, soldiers, and defense personnel without whose infinite sacrifices none of us would have ever existed. And now, from the prolific pen of stinky, grumpy grandpa Pandemonium, from his recently re excavated, dilapidated, derelict, decrepit warehouse of recycled, reserved, rehashed, remixed, redundant, regurgitated, repeated, remodeled, repaired, refurbished, repolished stories. Tunu tunu, tararararara. Title of the story: Hickory Dickory Dock, or The Mouse's Red Shining Hat. Dig 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 dish. Part 3 of 4 begins. Protests galore. Ever willing to oblige, the obedient palace guard, with one swift stroke of his spear, just tossed the hat with its tip out from the head of Mr. Hickory Dickory Dock right into a nearby royal dustbin, and with just a stomp of his spear shoot the mouse out of the palace. Right out into the waiting open arms and thighs of the kingdoms, pressing each other's for free press, wailing and weeping, breast beating and lamenting, Mr. Mouse had full scope to display his histrionics, playing the victim card in front of the prostitutes. Hickory Dickory Dock, the king is a beggar, he grabbed my hat. The king is a thief, he stole my hat. The king is jealous of my new red hat. The king is a pot-bellied tin pot tyrant, he snatched my cap. The king is a dictator, he confiscated my hat. The king is full of spite, he used his royal might to usurp my red shining hat, which is the symbol of honor and pride and coat of arms emblem of a great and hoary family, Hickory Dickory Dock, which runs up and down in a jiffy on a great grandfather's clock of greater antiquity, and so on and so forth. Now, as the press is always eager to magnify any so called injustice to the weak and meek and downtrodden, who could be more meeker and more downtrodden than a squeaky, weepy mouse? So the press and social media jumped onto the bandwagon for all they were worth. Save the mouse's hat, screamed the news headlines. In no time, the grouse of the mouse became a national top priority topic. Every so-called intellectual warming his or her armchair cushions and worth their laurels, and every village bumpkin posing as an expert advisor, squatting on their haunches while ruminating on their chewed up tobacco, had something to say upon the situation or comment on the event. All waxed eloquent, talking for long and at length about the immensely unjust act of cruelty committed by the state's gargantuan huge machinery on the singular, poor, downtrodden, lonely rodent, depriving him of his only means of succor and support, his new red hat. In short, it was a swell situation to see, mainly because it was swelling out of all sensible sizes or proportions. Small girls invented a new crisscross clapping of hands game to play while singing a song. The crisscross clapping must continue without break all the while simultaneously while singing this accusing song. Game starter. King in his palace stole a hat. Some say this and some say that, but I say it was Mr. X, sir. The first accused, Mr. X, would say, "I, sir." The game starter would say, "Yes, sir." First accused, Mr. X, would say, "No, sir." Game starter, then whom, sir? Mr. X, "Mr. P, sir." Second accused. Second accused, Mr. P, would say, "I, sir." X would say, "Yes, sir." And P would say, "No, sir." And so on and so forth. In a fast mode, the game would sound something like this. King in his palace stole a hat. Some say this and some say that, but I say X, sir. I, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Then whom, sir? P, sir. I, sir. Yes, sir. Etc., etc., etc. The song and the crisscross clapping got faster and faster, and the accused names were changed rapidly in circles. The one who broke or missed the crisscross clapping chain would be declared out of the game as the culprit. This game was very aptly called the blame game clapper. So why don't you try it for a while till the author takes a short break? End of part 3 of total 4.